Welcome to Common Sense Parenting with Pam, the podcast where we simplify parenting with common sense tips, real life scenarios, and a little bit of humor along the way. I'm Pam, and I'm here to help you build the skills and confidence you need to raise happy, resilient, and responsible children. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's tackle parenting one common sense tip at a time. Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense Parenting with Pam. I'm your host, Pam, and I'm here to make parenting a little easier and a lot more enjoyable with practical, common sense tips for children age 2 to 12. If your mornings feel like a chaotic race against the clock, and that happens a lot, this episode is for you. Today, we're diving into parenting hacks for creating a smoother morning routine. By the end of this episode, you'll have a toolbox of strategies to turn your mornings from frantic to fabulous. So let's get started. Okay, let's talk about the night before. Now, the key to a smooth morning is preparation, and a lot of that happens the night before. Here are a few things you can do to set yourself up for success. Number 1, lay out the clothes. Now, if your children are old enough, have your children pick out their outfits the night before. This will eliminate the morning debate over what to wear and rushing around to decide, and also gives them a sense of control. For younger children, keep it simple by offering them 2 options to choose from. And remember, pick your battles here. If they want to wear a flower top and paisley pants or pattern pants, so what? Right? Let them do it. Just sometimes you have just take deep breaths and move on. Okay, pack the lunches and backpacks the night before. So they can either pack their own lunches if they're old enough and put them in the fridge for the next day, or you can do that. Prep their backpacks. Again, they can do it if they're old enough, or you can do that if they're younger. Double check any homework, any notes, any special items your children might need for school, and then store the backpacks by the door ready to grab and go. So you're not rushing around in the morning trying to remember everything you forgot. It'll be all together in one place. Now, I had a friend that used to prepare the sandwiches like a week in advance by creating the sandwiches. She wouldn't put like the mayonnaise or anything. It would say like ham and cheese or whatever on bread. She'd wrap it in a paper towel and then put it in a baggie and freeze them. So all she had to do, and she had 3 boys, so she was preparing a lot of lunches. So she would just grab one and throw it in the lunchbox. It would thaw by the time it was lunchtime. So it kept it nice and fresh. It was easy. It was done ahead of time. So little tricks like that can really help make your mornings a lot smoother. This is so important. Number 3 is to establish a good bedtime routine. A good morning starts with a good night's sleep. So create a calming bedtime routine that helps your children wind down and get the rest they need, because well-rested children are much easier to manage in the morning. Now let's talk about creating a visual morning checklist. And I'm all about checklists and teaching children responsibility for managing their own responsibilities by using checklists. So children thrive on routine and clear expectations. And a visual morning checklist can work wonders, especially for younger children. So here's how you can create one and make it fun. Number 1, make it fun by using pictures. So for younger children, pictures or icons alongside simple words to represent each task, like brushing the teeth, getting dressed, eating breakfast, putting on their shoes. Keep it visible, really, really important. So this can be on the refrigerator, on their bedroom door, somewhere that the children can easily see it and know to go to check off once they've done the task. And then celebrate those completions when your child finishes all the tasks on the checklist. Give them a high five, a sticker, or even just praise and words of encouragement. Positive reinforcement motivates your children to stick with that routine, and it becomes habit for them. So they know every day when I get up, this is what I need to do. I need to check this off. I need to do this. I need to grab this. I need to get my shoes on. There are lots of ways you can do the visual thing. It can be a checklist. I think I shared a reel where a lady had the lights. You push the button, it lights up. So they would all be lit up. And there would be a picture of like putting on a jacket, putting on your shoes, grabbing your backpack. And the child would grab their backpack, hit the light off. So they knew that's done. Boom, boom, boom. So not only was it visual, but it was interactive. And it really was helpful. The child knew once all the lights were off, all of the tasks were completed, and they could head out the door to school. Now, how can you streamline breakfast time? Wouldn't we all love to have nice, smooth, easy breakfast time? It can be one of the biggest hurdles of the day. You know, your children are getting up, they're trying to get all their things together, they're tired, they don't want to go to school, you don't feel like going to work. You know, it can just be a little hectic sometimes. So here are some things that you can do, a few hacks to make it a little bit easier. You can prep ahead, obviously. Batch make breakfast items like pancakes, waffles, breakfast burritos over the weekend, freeze them. And in the morning, you can just reheat and serve. Keep it simple. Offer easy, healthy options like yogurt, granola, fruit, overnight oats, things that are quick and easy to prepare and can even be eaten on the go if needed. You know, muffins, make some muffins, freeze muffins, grab one run that can eat it in the car on the way. Ideally, you would like to have them sit around the table, eat where it's calm and peaceful, and they can just relax and transition into the day. But let's be real here. We know that doesn't always happen. We know sometimes things go haywire and you just have to grab and go, and that's okay. That's okay too. Just be prepared. And then let your children help. So if it's age appropriate, let your children help prepare their breakfast. You know, this is a great way to save time and encourage independence. So let's go back to where you're prepping ahead. Say you've batched some breakfast burritos maybe, or some waffles. So if your children are old enough, they can grab a waffle or a breakfast burrito, pop it in the microwave. Teach them which button to push. Ta-da! They've made their own breakfast. They go in the freezer, they pick it out, throw it in the microwave. Boom. You're teaching them independence. They're choosing what they want for breakfast. Everybody's happy. Now here's a little trick. And this isn't like genius or anything, but it's something to keep in mind and remember, and it's very helpful, this is one of my favorite hacks, is build in extra time into your morning. Always anticipate needing more time than you think you will. So if you think you're going to need 30 minutes to get everybody ready and out the door with everything they need on time, aim for 40 or 45 minutes. Put that buffer on there because that can save you from feeling rushed when things don't go as planned. I mean, because let's be honest, with children, things rarely go as planned. You know, it's like you're racing around in the morning, you get everything packed, the backpacks, the lunches, they've had breakfast, you're heading out the door, and then your child spills their chocolate milk all over their shirt. And now you have to turn around and race back in the house and get them changed. Or you get them to school and go, oh my gosh, where are your shoes? They didn't have their shoes on. Now you got to run back home or turn the car around. You're halfway to school and you realize that and get the shoes. So build in that extra buffer time. Personally, I would always get up about an hour before my children, just so I had some time to myself. I could wake myself up, have my morning tea, do my morning studies, whatever it was I was doing, and then prepare for the day. So we'll do what works for you, but consider getting yourself up a little bit earlier. I mean, if you're not a morning person, I'm a morning person. If you're not, 10, 15 minutes, just give yourself like a head start on the day. And then make it fun. Let's talk about bringing fun into your mornings. Starting the day on a positive note can set the tone for everyone. And that's why I just wanted to say as a reminder, please, before your children go out the door in the morning, make sure they go out knowing they're loved. Yelling at your children, scolding your children, getting frustrated with your children, and then sending them into school just sets a tone for the day for them. It's so much better if they go happy and knowing they're loved and everything's calm, because you would want the same thing for yourself, right? You're going into work. You wouldn't want to be going into work when you've just been yelled at by, say, your spouse or your partner, or you're just crabby because it's been chaotic at home and now you transfer that over into your work. Nobody wants that for the day. So send them in with love and use music. Create a morning playlist with upbeat songs that your children enjoy. Music can motivate them to move faster. It can lighten the mood. You can play the music in the car on the way to school. Right? It's great. It's fun. Turn tasks into games. Challenge your children to see who can get dressed the fastest or finish their checklist first. Now, these little competitions, they can they can make mundane tasks more exciting. Now, be careful on this because you don't want to pit your children against each other constantly, and then they become very, very competitive, and then it can get a little bit hairy sometimes. So be careful on that. Don't use it all the time. I mean, there's plenty of other games you can play, but just a word of caution there. And then offer a reward. So if your children stay on track, reward them with something. You can be small, but meaningful, like extra playtime after school or special breakfast treat on Fridays. Fridays can be donut day, whatever. Just, offer reward. You don't have to do this all the time because children need to learn that they need to do things just because they need to do things, because it's part of life and part of preparing for school and being part of a family. So it doesn't have to be all the time because that also then loses its effectiveness. So again, I caution you to use that carefully. So there you go. There you have it. Short, sweet. Some tips, some hacks you can use. With a little planning, creativity, and patience, you can transform your mornings from stressful to smooth. Now remember, routines take time to build. So be consistent and give your children lots of encouragement as they adjust. If you try any of these hacks, I'd love to hear how they work for your family. Share your stories with me on my socials. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. You can go into my private Facebook group, Common Sense Parenting with Pam, and drop a note in there. And if you have a favorite morning routine, let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas to share with my amazing parenting community. Here's to peaceful, calm mornings. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Common Sense Parenting with Pam. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you did, please leave a review. That helps other parents find us. And if you have friends who also have children and could use some parenting tips, feel free to share this. I'd really appreciate it. I love to hear from you, so you can always find me on my socials. And until then, remember,